Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at Mega Froslass with Arboliva. This is a deck that I've been working on in my own time whilst, trying to sort out life and stuff like that and, try and get a new job and everything, and this is a deck that's been keeping my mind off of that, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised how well it's working at the minute. So as per usual, in the description below there's going to be usual links, double the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play, and of course the outro and what I think of the deck. And of course, as usual, there will be a link to the Discord server should you wish to join it. So of course, today we are taking a look at Mega Froslass once again. This card is very splashable, I've been learning, and it's really not that difficult to put it into a deck, because, it's a 1 energy attacker, most decks don't mind playing water energy, so, it's pretty nice in that regard. Obviously, we do have 2 attacks, but we're going to mainly focus on the first one with its Resentful Refrain for 50 times. This attack does 50 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. In other words, we're not playing special red card, because that kind of bites us, and we don't really want that. But we'll get to that shortly. Obviously, our other backup attacker, I should say, is Arboliva. We know about this card. I have noticed this card's been dropping in, use lately. But I felt like playing it. So, of course, we do have Oil Salvo with its, 6 times 20 attack. We do have Aroma Shot, but never used that. Same with Mega Froslass's second attack. Never used it, and, it would be funny to use it, but still. Obviously, I believe it's just a really nice attacker to have, because obviously, it you can help set up Mega Froslass a little bit easier, and then obviously, you can just take out more tiny basics and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't think Arboliva is the best pairing for Mega Froslass. I am planning to do a variant of Mega Starmie with this card. If I've not already done it, I'll have to double check my homework. I don't think I have. But that's definitely something we can look into. But obviously, Arboliva is just a really splashable card as well, because like I say, it's a 1 energy attacker. Obviously, it is a stage 2, so it's a little bit harder to get it to work, but it mostly works. Of course, in terms of others, we do have a couple of Munkidoris in this list. This is a list that I've been, tinkering with, and quite early on I put in Double Monkey, Double Dark. And so far, Monkey's just been a legend as it always is. Getting an extra 3 damage counters moved off not only helps out Arboliva, but it also helps out Mega Froslass. But getting to Adrenabrain to set up for, Aroma Shot and stuff like that, not Aroma Shot, the Oil Salvo attack, it's pretty nice to have, and if you can set up Double Monkey, you're moving 60 damage. You're essentially doing half of Arboliva's attack, which is pretty good. We're not playing any Psychic Energy or anything like that, so that's just something to bear in mind. But of course, that's something you can think about in your own time if you want to change this list up. And then of course, we do have the Dunsparce engine, and I've also chucked in the EX as well. So, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a proper look. And welcome to the deck list. This deck's been really fun to keep my mind off of things, because obviously, as I mentioned, I'm applying elsewhere and obviously thinking about the best sort of job that I could take. And this deck's been actually helping with that. It's been taking my mind off of things, and I appreciate this deck for that. Obviously, there are a few things that I think could change about this list. Obviously, there is a high count of supporters because, well, these sorts of decks run on that. And the ace spec you could definitely think about changing if you want, but so far Secret Box is goated, so don't really want to change that. So of course we have 3 Snowrunts, 2 Mega Froslass, 3 Dunsparce, 2 Dudunsparce, and 1 Dudunsparce EX, 2 Smolivs, 2 Dollivs, and 2 Arbolivas. Then of course 2 Monkeys and a Meowth. Then we have 4 Lillies, 2 Petrel, 2 Wallies, 2 Boss, 1 Lucian, 1 Hilda, and 1 Crispin. Then, of course, we have 4 Buddy, 3 Poké Pad, 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Night Stretcher, 1 Secret Box as our ace spec, 2 Air Balloons, 3 Forest of Vitalities, 4 Water Energy, 3 Grass Energy, and 2 Dark Energy. Like I said, there's very few things that I'd want to change about this list. I would want to play a second Lucian. Obviously, as I mentioned, we're not playing red card, because, that bites us. If we want our opponent drawing 6, so that way Froslass is doing 300 damage. If they draw to 3, it's not the end of the world, but we still at least hand disrupt them with this card. But, that's either here nor there. In terms of other things I'd change, I wouldn't mind playing a third Wally's, just, to have that insurance, because obviously most of the time we're going to be using Froslass as our big heavy hitting attacker. So that's just something to bear in mind. I'll be honest, in the original list that I was playing, like, to start off with when I first built the deck, I was playing 2 Hildas and I was playing Legacy Energy, but I just felt like the list was missing something. So I've cut the Hilda to 1, and obviously made room for, you know, Secret Box, a second Air Balloon, things like that. I think Secret Box is the second best A spec for this deck. The first would probably be Legacy, but I've gone on Secret Box purely because it's easier for me to go for Petrel, Secret Box, grab Forest, Air Balloon, you know, Poké Pad, things like that. You know, we could even go, if we have Hilda in deck, we could do that as well. But other than that, really, not really much needs to change about this list. You could add in a Dawn as well to help out find your Smoliv, your Dolliv, and the Arboliva a little bit easier. Also, you can grab Mega Froslass, Dudunsparce off of that, and also a Monkey. The Monkeys, I think, should stay. These are excellent little, you know, healing, as we already know. And getting to move 60 damage if we can set up double Monkey is pretty nice. But other than that, really, I've not really had too many issues with this list. The only other thing I would want is a single prize attacker of some degree. And the problem is there's not many good ones at the minute. There's Hops Cramorant, which, you know, that's pretty good. But obviously we are playing a Mega Pokemon, so, you know, that can be something that the opponent takes advantage of, because then Cram gets very little use. And yeah, other than that, I can't really think of anything that comes to mind, you know, for like cheap attacking cost. You know, we have the Dunsparce EX, but, you know, this is a 2-prizer at the end of the day, not a single prizer. So, you know, maybe a Hops Cramorant could fit in this list. You could even cut the Crispin, but Crispin's nice for getting Munkidori plus your attacker set up in the same turn. But other than that, really, I've not really felt the need to change this list all too much. So, let's get into some games and see how we do. And welcome to our first match. We're paired against someone in Giratina rank. This will be interesting. Hopefully this will go alright. I have got plans, like I say, for other variants of Arboliva. You know, there's a lot of potential partners you can pair it with. Do I want to go first? Sure. Why not? Just going to put my light on because it's getting quite dark. And I kind of want to see what I'm doing. Okay, that's not a bad hand at all. I will definitely take that. I would like some more basics, but we are ripping... Oh, I know exactly what we're facing here. This is Keris Jones's list. The Alakazam list. Great. That's going to be an annoyance to deal with. I'm kind of glad we went first now, I'll be honest. But yeah, this might be a tough matchup. I'm not going to pop the Secret Box straight away. They don't play Hand Disruption. I did read her list. But yeah, I'll take that mulligan. There's a Dolliv. That is brilliant. And there's a Fez start. Perfect. There's a Poké Pad. Well, I'm going to attach for turn, I know that much. I'll play the Poké Pad, I might as well. What do I grab here? I have prize of Smoliv, well, a Smoliv, yeah. That's fine. Got both Arbolivas. I've prized a Froslass, and I've also prized the Dudun EX, but I don't really care about the Dudun EX at this point. We have got one grass in the prize card, so we need to be mindful of that. I think, just to play it safe, I'll grab a Dun. And then pass. One thing I've noticed is whenever anyone wins a regional, everyone bum rushes to the deck. So, yeah. I know for a fact this list plays LGM, so we need to be very careful in that regard, because that can move around our energy, which could make things pretty tricky. Battle Cage isn't a problem, because that's only 4 damage counters, and we do raw damage. There's the Dun and Enriching. Now they're going for the Enriching attached to the Fez. That feels rough. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's an Abra. Like I say, because they've played Hilda as their supporter for turn, we can... Yeah, we're just gonna farm here. I mean, you're just net decking a regionals winning deck, so you kind of deserve it. I'll get rid of the water. That's completely fine. Okay, so we've got the Lilies in hand, so I will take the Hilda. Because I do need to find Arboliva, so that will cover that basis. I'll take Air Balloon and the Forest. And I think we just take a Buddy here, to be honest. Because like I say, Hilda gets us our, you know, gets us our Arboliva. So then we'll go Dolliv, Forest, Hilda for Arboliva, and we'll just take a Dark. Evolve, Air Balloon. Do I want to attach this done? I mean, I can shuffle it back in if needs be. And I'm just going to Oil Salvo. So we'll take out the Abra, and we'll put the rest on the Fez. And that's all this deck is built to do. We're just built to bench snipe. I don't think her list played a Shaman. I'm going to double check Twitter. I know people call it X, but I've always called it Twitter. It'll always be called Twitter in my eyes. So let's have a quick look. I don't think her list played a Shaman. I don't remember. Looking at the list, it did not. So that is pretty goated, to say the least. So we can definitely do something here. We do need to establish, why are you bossing Dunsparce? I can just retreat this. Mate, I could just retreat this. Like, that's why I put the Dark Energy there. But yeah, like I said, we could start picking off his Pokemon, which is pretty nice. Okay, well, there's another Air Balloon. So let's go for a Buddy. And we'll set up a Snorunt and another Dun. So that's good. I'm going to Air Balloon this Dunsparce, because I want to put that back in the deck as well. And then we'll just go Lilies. There's the Dun. So that's pretty nice. I can set up a Monkey as well. We'll then Runaway Draw. Okay, Petrel's nice. We're not going to be able to use it just yet, but that's completely fine. And then, yeah, we're going to Oil Salvo. You're first, because, well, you have the energy, and, well, I don't like you. So let's take another 2 prizes. Yeah, this, like, I didn't watch Keris's game, I must admit. So, Keris Jones, for whatever reason, if you're happening to watch my video, I doubt you are, but, you know, I didn't build this to counter your deck. I'm just saying that right now, love. And, yeah. God, the Britishness came out then. We normally say love when it comes to, like, that sort of thing. But, yeah, this is pretty much wraps for my opponent. Like, unless they can, you know, get the nuts and take out my Arboliva, it is very unlikely they're going to get to do something. I would have liked to have gotten my second Smoliv off the prize cards, but, you know, he's just evolved that to a Kadabra. I'm not really bothered. He can retreat the Fez with its enriching energy and go into the Kadabra. But, yeah, this is not looking good for you, my friend. That's for sure. Because the nice thing is if he keeps his hand size high, I can set up a Water Energy on the Snorunt, and then we can just boss Fez for game. So, you know, but yeah, I didn't build this deck to counter your deck, Keris, if you, for whatever reason, have to watch this. Yeah, I didn't build this to counter it. I forgot that this deck was running around the ladder, to be honest. And plus, like I said, I forgot your list didn't even have a Shaman, so, you know, I didn't do it because of that. I just wanted to play this deck. I've been working on it for a little bit. It does need work, as I've already said, in the Decklist section, but still. There's the Dedenne that I know about. I'm surprised they haven't gone for the LGM. Okay. So there's Dunsparce. I could hand disrupt them with Lucian, which I think I might. So we'll bench the Dunsparce. I want to Ultra Ball away these, because I'm not going to use these realistically. I think I'll just grab a Dun. I could grab Froslass, but like Froslass is a 3 prizer. I'd rather not have that in play right now. So we'll do that. And yeah, I'm just going to Lucian. I'm happy to Lucian here, because I'm hand disrupting them, and most importantly, if they get a Tails, like we did, they're only getting 3 cards. Okay, there's a Dark potential attached to the Monkey, and yeah, it's only Tails, so that's good. We can most definitely do that. So we'll go attached Monkey, we will then Oil Salvo, we'll take out this Kadabra. I'll put... Do I want to rest on the Dedenne? Because the Dedenne's not going to heal. Yeah, I think that's fine. We take out the Kadabra at the end of the day. So that way they have to find Rare Candy Alakazam. So I'm happy with this. You know, we're pretty much in the driver's seat. All we need now is to just take out the Fez or just take out one of their little guys. This is pretty simple, and that's pretty much what this deck is built to do. Yes, we're leading into the Arboliva, but, well, that's part of the deck. and they're just going to scoop it up. I don't blame them. You know, we're just picking off their little dudes. They couldn't really get set up. I don't even know if Keris's list played Rare Candy. I didn't exactly look for it. I would imagine it did, but yeah, my opponent just couldn't do anything there. And yeah, I've just double-checked the list, 3 Rare Candy, but we just kept the pressure on, and that was what enabled us to get that win there. Let's go to Game 2. And welcome back to Game 2. That was a pretty good first game there against the winning Alakazam control list, as some people have called it. The Nighttime Mind wouldn't have bothered us in the slightest, so that's at least something. But it would have just bumped our stadium, which, to be fair, I wasn't too bothered about. But I would have liked my Smoliv off the prizes, because that would have helped, but it's not a big deal. We'll go first again. We had pretty good success going to first, the first time anyway. Alright, let's see what we've got. Well, that's a mulligan, but that's fine. Would have been a nice opening hand, to be honest, but it's fine. And Rapid Strike Urshifu sleeves. Something tells me this is Mega Greninja. Ooh, 3 mulligans. Yeah, they know the deck now. That's annoying, but we'll live with it. I'll start the Dun. I'd rather start a Dun. I'm getting Greninja vibes because of the Rapid Strike Urshifu sleeves. Yeah, I told you. I know this. I know the trade. I know the trade. Alright, let's go for Poké Pad. We'll grab ourselves a Smoliv. We have prized one again. It feels like I'm prizing all of them today. Both Arbolivas, both Mega Froslass. Our Dun line is in a deck as well. So that's pretty good. The Lucian's in there to help out later. Secret Box is in there. That's fine. And we've prized 1 Dark Energy. I can live with that. So we'll go bench Smoliv, bench the Munkidori, and we will pass. Because I can Ultra Ball away Crispin and Wally, grab a Dun, and then we can Lillies for 8. So, you know, that's pretty nice. If we top deck the Dunsparce, I'll do, you know, evolve to the Dunsparce and then Lillies. You know, just try and get as many cards as possible. An attachment to the Froakie. Are they going to just collect? If they do, that's alright for me. I'm pretty happy with that. Or they could Water Gun for 10 and assert dominance. You know, there is that option. Tenacity. Okay. Surfing Beach and Ignition Energy. Okay. Not sure what that's for, unless you're playing the Terra Greninja. There's Surfing Beach. But why would you play that now? You know, this is a potential stadium bump for my Forest, but hey ho, it's your game, not mine, mate. And there's Hilda. Hilda doesn't get us anywhere, so I'm just gonna get rid of. I'm gonna get rid of Crispin. In fact, no, the Crispin could be helpful later. I'd rather get rid of Hilda and the Wallies. So we'll grab the Dun. We do need the nuts off of these next 11 cards, but we're drawing 11 cards. Okay, well there's Secret Box. That pretty much... Actually, no, that doesn't, because we do need a Grass Energy. So in that case, I will fin with Buddy, grab you out the deck. I'll bench this one once we've done our Secret Box. Well, in fact, I can get rid of it, actually. I can go Mega Froslass, I can discard an Arboliva, and I can discard... probably the boss, because their hand size is pretty big. I'm happy to lose a boss here. So what I'll grab is you, not you, although I might actually grab you. We'll take Lillies, and actually I will take a Poké Pad. Okay, so we just need a Grass off the Dun. Come on, the Dunsparce. Ooh, that's a whiff. Oh dear. Right. That makes things a little awkward. I can evolve for now. But if they have Rare Candy, that is kind of bad. I'm going to go Air Balloon here. I'll bench another Dun. And I'll pass. That is a painful whiff. And that might hurt us later. But I'm hoping that, you know, they don't have Rare Candy. Which, of course, they do. Oh, they've got the Greninja. No, they've got the Terra Greninja. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, no. Well, they're just going to take out our attackers then. That's terrible, is what that is. They're just going to take out our 2 attackers, and, well, that's the end of us, to put it politely. That's really not good. Yeah, we're getting Mirage Barrage here, which is a problem. Okay. There's the Dunsparce draw. I got a Poké Pad probably for another Dun. Yep, there it is. See, now I'm getting punished for bullying that Alakazam player in the previous game, but, well, Karma's just striking, that's all. Karma is striking. And remember, our second Smoliv is in the prize card, so we can't re-establish that Dolliv yet. And, yep, there goes our attackers. Great. See, I can't even respond with the Dunny X, because the Dunny X is fighting weak, and, well, we know how that's going to end. Right. Let's think about this. Well, there's a Petrel. That's pretty nice. I could Petrel for Night Stretcher, but then, like, I have to Poké Pad the Dunsparce and hope I hit, which is kind of copium, if I do say so myself, but I may not have a choice here. So let's go for Petrel for a Night Stretcher. But then again, I would need to hit the second Dolliv as well, so I'm actually asking for a lot here. So, we'll grab back the Smoliv. Do that. Poké Pad the Dun. So we need we need Dolliv plus Grass, and I don't think we're gonna hit it. No. And I can't even attack, so yeah, I'm just gonna scoop it up. That is karma for game 1 is all I'll say. Let's go to a game 2. Well, when I say game 2, I mean game 3. That was just immediate karma for abusing Arboliva. I could have set up another, you know, attacker, but, you know, I wasn't to know that they had the rare candy Greninja in hand. Quite unfortunate, but, you know, these things happen. And judging by the coin, I think we're facing Lucario, which, that's actually quite tough for us. Because they can hand thin with, you know, their Ultra Balls and stuff. They can do a lot here, so I'm not happy, to say the least. I'll start the Dun. It's safe to start the Dun. The only way which it isn't is if they go, you know, Riolu start, Fighting Energy, Premium Power Pro, and knock out the Dunsparce, which would suck, but they could do that if I start Smoliv, and I don't really want to start the Monkey. And yep, they've got a Riolu start. Okay, that's annoying. Right, well there's a Lillies, that's at least something. So I'll bench these two, I'll bench the Monkey, attach the Snorunt, and pass. If they take out the Dunsparce, it's okay, because we can just Lillies, but them taking a singular prize could be actually bad for us. But it depends on their hand, because they could have anything for all I know. Well, there's the attachment. Fighting Gong. So that's not a Premium Power Pro at the very least. Lunatone. Let's see what they can do. They've probably got a Fighting Energy in hand, but they need a Solrock to actually do it. So that's at least something. Yep, they've got the Power Pro. That's annoying, but we will deal with it. There's a Meowth for a last-ditch catch. That's kind of annoying that they have that, but again, we'll deal with it. It's not a huge deal. And obviously we're going to promote Snorunt, because then we have a higher chance of, you know, getting something going in that regard. The nice thing as well is because they're going to be behind on their attachments to Riolu, they are going to struggle for that reason. There's Gravity Mountain, so that's a problem for later, if we get an Arboliva established. Excuse me. And Accelerated Stab for 120. Knock out my Dunsparce. That is annoying, because I had the Dun in hand, but it's okay. We'll deal with it. Alright, let's see what we get. Body Poffin's pretty good. We need these guys. I have prized a Dunsparce. I've not done a proper prize check this game. Let's go for a Lillies. Oh, have we whiffed? No. We nearly whiffed, though. Okay, so Secret Box away you. Probably not going to need you. And what's in the discard? I can spare an Arboliva in the discard pile, I think. So let's grab Lillies. We will also grab you, and you, because I can get rid of Meowth here. I'm pretty happy to get rid of Meowth, because I can always Night Stretcher it back later if I need it, because we need the Froslass now. All right. So we'll go Evolve. Do I want to do that there? Sure. I'll bump his stadium as well. I'll attach here. And we'll Resentful Refrain for 400. Just a little bit overkill is all I will say in that regard. But if they do keep their hand size high, we might be okay. They're probably going to try and plink with the Solrock, but then there's still a turn attachment behind. So, you know, I'm happy for them to do that. And if they leave it as a Riolu, I'll probably end up Arbolivaing it. So we'll see. Okay, nope, they're going to evolve it to a Mega Lucario. That's fine. There's a flip. I'd really love a boss right now. I'd really love a boss. That is most definitely what I'd love right now. I would love a boss's orders. I mean, I get the idea why they're going for the Solrock here, but at the same time, you know I play Munkidori, I have Arboliva, I could potentially do something here, you know? And if I top deck boss, well, this guy's gone, to say the least. I will be targeting that Mega Lucario, if I can. And obviously we've got the Forest in play, but that's irrelevant now, because obviously we have it as a Dolliv. They're going to boss. They're going to go for the Snorunt, interestingly. I mean, it brings them back to even price cards, but I would have took out Dunsparce myself. Yeah, it's one less Froslass for you to deal with, but, you know, that's how I see it anyway. The Wallies is nice, but we will just play the Lilies for turn. Okay, we can get this established. Nice. So then we will run away draw. Okay, that's not too bad. I could go, you know, knock out the Solrock with the Arboliva, because obviously we did discard one. I think it's okay to do that, because, you know, we're putting up a 2 prize instead of a 3 prizer. I think I'm fine with that, to be honest. We did get the attachment to Monkey, but, again, I can live with that. So let's go for a Poké Pad, grab a Dun, bench the Dun, retreat into the Arboliva, and Oil Salvo, and we'll just take out the active. Like I say, now we're forcing not only energy, but we're also forcing, you know, a little bit more to get this Lucario going. I could have obviously Night Stretchered for the Meowth and knocked out the Mega Lucario. I could have done that, but it's like, that's a bit of a risk. So, you know, I'm not really wanting to take too many risks, because obviously if we get stamped, if they're playing Stamp, or if they play Special Red Card, we don't really have anything in terms of our board setup. And like I say, I'm playing around the Special Red Card right now, which is what I'm trying to do here. And plus, if we get a second energy, we will just retreat this Arboliva into the Froslass and take out this Lucario. So, you know, it doesn't really matter what we do there, but I'm trying to, you know, keep a board set up, because we can win the game with Arboliva if we take out this Lucario. There goes Cornerstone and a Makuhita. They're not really playing around the Mega Froslass, which is nice, but we still need to take that into consideration. There's an Aura Jab. That's completely fine. Let's see what they power up, although it'll probably just be this guy. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, well, we're good. That's even better. I don't need an energy now. Right, so let's go for a Poké Pad. We'll grab ourselves a Dun. Evolve there. Do I want to set up another attacker? I don't really need to, because like I have game with Arboliva if he, you know, knocks out the Froslass, so, you know, don't really care. And the Munkidori energy attachment is actually quite relevant, because that does make it a little bit easier on our future thingamabob. So we'll do that. We'll go retreat into the Frost. I'll bench another Dun. And then we'll Resentful Refrain for 550 damage, which is nearly 2, or we can, if it was, well no, if they had 2 more cards in hand, we'd nearly be taking out 2 Lucarios worth of damage. They're not really playing around us, which is leading to their downfall. You know, if they respond to the Froslass, I have Arboliva. If they respond to the Arboliva, I have Froslass. So, they don't win from here. They don't win from here. Like I say, if we keep this damage on the board, we can potentially, you know, make it a little bit easier on our Froslass as well. But we can also just, you know, make it easier on our Arboliva. But we won't need to, because if they take the knockout here, they lose. And if they don't take the knockout here, even if, you know, they're playing around the hand size like they are, you know, we just win with Arboliva. He needs to find Gus for Arboliva, but he's already played Lilies. The only way in which he can get that back is if he, you know, he plays Prime Catcher as his A spec, which I severely doubt. And even then, I have Boss with this to, you know, do something about it. What are they digging for? Maybe they're digging for Prime. Maybe that's why they're digging so much. But like I say, because we've set up the Arboliva, we have game on their Lunatone or their Solrock, so they can't really do anything here. They're going to flip the script. So even if they don't knock out this Froslass, if they don't play this hand down, I can literally just win with Froslass, but I'll probably just do it with Arboliva. Les Lunar Cycle, so we don't even need to do anything now. They've drawn perfectly into what we need. They need 2 damage mods, and they've played 1. There's 1. There's Makuhita. Do they have the 2nd damage mod? Because if they don't, well, you're only doing 300, mate. They're going to switch into the Solrock. You do know you just lose, right? He's going to retreat. I played around hand size. Okay, I get why he's doing that now. Night Stretcher. Yeah, sorry, mate. You just lose here because I have Arboliva established. So, I'm sorry to say. If you had Gus for this, then you'd be fine for the most part. You wouldn't, but he doesn't know that. But yeah, he's playing out his actions, fair enough. I don't blame him, but yeah, we just win. We have the retreat into the Arboliva, and we just, yeah. And yep, he's swung. That is game. Knowing how some of these players can be, he'll probably take the mick in deciding where he wants these energies to go. But of course, we have game. We just pay, well, we don't pay retreat. We'll go in the Arboliva, and we oil salvo for game. And that's that done. Nice easy win there. I was not worried about that in the slightest. They didn't play around the hand size until it was way too late. Taking that knockout on that Mega Lucario was really important there. But yeah, I'll take that win against Mega Lucario. Let's go to game 4. And welcome back to game 4. That was a pretty successful game there against Mega Lucario. I didn't think it was going to do like too well, but the fact they didn't play around the hand size was definitely beneficial to us. And yeah, you know, even if we had, you know, psychic coverage like Clefairy or something, that would have been a pretty easy matchup anyway. But, you know, the issue is if you're adding in stuff like Clefairy, you then have to play raw psychic energy, and then that's reasoning to, you know, increase the Crispin count, and it's just like, I don't need it in the deck. At least in my opinion, you know, I don't need it in the deck. You know, we have Double Monkey, we have the Arboliva for early stage, you know, and then the Mega Froslass, which most players don't play around it, as, you know, we've seen there. You know, I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like we're starting a Dunsparce, and we're going 2nd this time. Okay, Spiky Energy, is this is Crustle, isn't it? Okay, well, at least we have the Dudunny X, which is a positive at the very least, but yeah, we're not dropping this to help them, that's for sure. But yeah, this is going to be a long one. I mean, we do have Double Monkey, so we can heal quite a bit at the very least. So let's see. And yep, the Webble. Great. Well, like I said, we do have answers in this matchup. The Spiky Energy is annoying. Same with the Hero's Cape off the top. But we will deal with it. Okay, so I know for a fact these decks do not play Crispin anymore. They just don't. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Poké Pad for a monkey. Because my main reliance is going to be the Dunsparce EX in this matchup. There's no sugarcoating it. I have to rely on it. I'll attach to the Dun. I don't need Forest, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm going to get rid of a Water Energy. Oh, the Dudunny X is prized. Oh no. Oh, that's really not good. Sugar honey iced tea is all I will say. And we'll Lilies. That's really not good. Okay, well in that case then, I'll grab a Smoliv and a Dunsparce, because they may just, you know, they may set up their board, I don't know. Now, do I use Trading Places? I could. There's no harm in it. I'll give them the Snorunt. And I'll just leave it at that. This is kind of bad. The fact that the Dun EX is prized is a huge issue. And there's the Lillies. We need to find... You know, we need to find the Dun EX. It's our only answer in this matchup. And if I can't find it, then, well, we're just buggered, to put it politely. Well, there's the Crustle. Great. Alright, well, there's a Grass Energy. I mean, like I said, I can evolve it to an Arboliva, and then we can just start using it as a, you know, a punching bag, I guess. I think that's my only option, is I use it as a punching bag. You'll see what I'm doing. If you know what I'm about to do, you'll know exactly what I'm thinking. It's probably not going to work, but I don't have a choice given that the Dun EX is in the prize cards. We get heads, so we draw 6. Okay, that's not particularly helpful. They do get tails at the very least, so they're only drawing 3. Do I play this Secret Box now? I think I do. I'll get rid of you, you, and you, because I don't need the stadiums right now. I'll take my Crispin that we had earlier. And I think I just take Poké Pad, because then we can keep up with the draws and stuff. So I'll go Air Balloon to the Arboliva, retreat into the Arboliva, and pass. See, what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to try and burn all of their, you know, all of their healing cards. Because double Monkey moving off of Arboliva, that's going to take them a while to deal with it. Which is good. The downside is, I'm going to be here a while, so I don't think it's going to be worth me playing this out, but, you know. They have just put down a Dwebble, though, but obviously because we have the stadium in play, they can immediately just, you know, do that. And I think they know exactly what I'm trying to do, so I think this is just curtains from here, unfortunately, folks. You know, I have the ability to do stuff, but it's like, I'm not really doing anything. So we'll just do that. Do that. Attach to the Dun and pass. That's all I can really do. I'm having to rely on Land Crush for 90, and I don't like it. The problem is, as well, is they also have Spiky Energy. And yeah, they're playing around the strategy perfectly. This is all I can do when my Dun EX is prized. If I had the Dun EX, I would play this game out. But because I don't, I'm not playing that out. It's as simple as that. You know, I can attack with Land Crush, but then they just immediately respond with a knockout, and that's 3 energy of mine gone. I play 9 energy in this list, so, you know, there's only so much. And, you know, we was bound to meet Crustle at some point. It's just a shame that we prized our one answer to it. So, what did I think to this deck? I think this deck's pretty sick, you know, like, it's definitely got a lot of, you know, options and stuff like that. Obviously, like I said, there are a few flaws that I would like to fix with the deck, if I can. Obviously, a single prize would be nice to help do a Crustle, but you all do that. You know, a bit more consistency wouldn't hurt. Maybe something that can hit a little bit harder, that isn't, you know, relying on hand size. Second Lucian would be nice, but other than that, really, I think this deck's alright, and I've really enjoyed my time with it. I will definitely get on to a Mega Froslass with Mega Star... Well, not Mega Froslass for Starmie. I've already done that, I believe. Well, no, I haven't done that. The Arboliva with the Mega Starmie, because I think that could be a pretty interesting spread deck. And maybe just chuck in a Ghost Line if I want to. But anyway, I'm going to go to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Mega Froslass with the Arboliva package, and I'll see you next time.